The financial planning spreadsheet has been pre-configured with values that would represent someone who will only receive a retirement pension from Social Security and who will receive the maximum amount from that Social Security as allowed by current law. Specifically, the date of birth has been set at 1980. Age starting work assumes 25. The age of death is set at 80. This happens to be the statistical average of the lifespan of people in the United States. Furthermore, we'll assume that the retirement age is 70. That's the highest age you're allowed to retire at under the Social Security program. Furthermore, if you do retire at 70 and you had very high earnings during your lifetime, the maximum benefit you could expect to receive from that Social Security program would be $4,873. Based on the numbers we entered, spreadsheet estimates that during your lifetime of earning, the Social Security system would have to accumulate approximately 18.2% of your earnings to fund a nest egg in Social Security for you to draw from. Now, because of the numbers we entered, you will work about 45 years and you will be retired for 10 years. Note that the current maximum benefit is indicated in $2025. That's today. However, if you look at the dates, we would be expected to retire 45 years from now in 2050. At that point, the Social Security benefit would probably be $10,000 and change, and that would be based on Social Security providing a 3% every year cost of living adjustment. In order to compute the size of the nest egg within Social Security needed to fund your Social Security retirement, receiving $10,203 per month, we're going to game the use of the spreadsheet. Specifically, we'll enter $0 in this cell here, and that simply causes the spreadsheet to automatically compute the amount required for the nest egg, and that would be here. In essence, in order to draw $10,203 for 10 years during retirement, your nest egg within Social Security would have to be $1,224,000 and change. I'll point out again that the funding needed to meet that $1,224,000 and change nest egg is 18.2% of your earnings. At 18.2%, Social Security would have to withhold $2,267 every month from your earnings. We're going to use a capability built into Excel called What If Analysis to determine how much shortfall the nest egg would be with the current Social Security tax rate. That current tax rate is only 12.4%. So currently, Social Security doesn't withhold enough money to actually fund the retirement goal for this particular individual. Let's see if we can come up with a shortfall number. The current scenario says that going to work at 25 and dying at 80 means that Social Security needs to save 18.2% of earnings during the lifetime. However, Social Security only withholds 12.4% of earnings. So I'm going to use a function in Excel called GoalSeek to try to find out what the shortcoming in this number would be. And I'll do that by tricking the spreadsheet into figuring out a new age of death that will give me a 12.4% value here. So to do that, I'll select this cell. I want to have its value as 0.124. That's the decimal of 12.4%. And then I'll do it by changing the value of age of death. And let's see if we get a result. We quickly do. It shows that in order to get a retirement benefit based upon maximum Social Security withholding, we would effectively have to die a little earlier. Or basically the shortfall in the nest egg would be about almost $500,000. So by increasing the percentage that Social Security withholds to 18% and change, we can easily meet the retirement goals of the original scenario. Getting a higher percentage of withholding would not be too difficult. We could simply tax more of income. Currently, it's limited to $200,000 a year or less. And we could also, if necessary, run that all the way up to unlimited earnings. If that's not enough, we could then start applying Social Security withholding to passive income, such as earnings on investments, such as interest and things such as capital gains and so forth. That wouldn't take much of a sacrifice to meet the 18.2% number and actually give everybody a decent retirement under Social Security.